Hi, my name is Anley Tefera, but everybody calls me, and I'm best known by T, so you can call me T.
All right.
And I'm here at a graduate student in the McCloskey Lab, in the Bioengineering and Small Scale Technologies program.
Hi, my name is Andrea Cho, and I'm representing as an Anchor Cat representative from the Students First Center.
Great.
So I'll just be interviewing you and just asking you a few questions.
All right.
All right. So T, how would you explain the broader significance of your research to an educated layperson?
The broader significance of my project. Well, first of all, this lab in general is a tissue engineering lab. The work we do is not limited to, but it's the development, design, and maintenance of tissue products that can be used to repair, restore, or mend tissues that need those interventions. So that's the lab in general. And my project, I'm designing a device that will potentially be used to preserve a tissue, a cardiac tissue, and we can use that as a model to study some of the mending processes per se.
That's amazing. Would you say that that is the big picture of your research?
Well, the big picture is right now we have a problem. One of the problems the biggest problem in the world is a lot of people are dying from heart diseases. It's the number one cause of death, and there's a lot of interventions right now. People take pharmacological interventions like beta blockers and AC inhibitors and things like that, or they get surgery and get like pacemakers installed and defibrillators and stuff like that, or they put stuff in their mechanical stuff to help diseases, and those things are not helping the problem of cardiac cell death, when, as we know, in our body, the heart is the main pump that circulates blood in our body to provide oxygen and nutrients to the rest of our body. So when that main pump is not working because of a damaged portion of the working cells, those interventions that I just mentioned, those are not really restoring the function. They're not really helping to restore it. So this project as a whole, finding ways to repair those damaged cells or restore their function, is very impactful because, like I said, heart disease are number one killers in the world right now.
Right.
So the broader impact is to mend a broken heart, literally put.
So the next question, How should an undergraduate student reach out to professors in order to gain research experience in their respective fields?
Well, if you ask me, my first advice to undergraduates is to excel in their academic courses in class, and that way they've done the first part of being noticed. So professors notice those students that are trying, put an effort forward in excelling their classes. And once you've done that, also go look at the websites. A lot of faculty on campus have websites and stuff. So go look at the website and look at the work that the professors do, and then look at the interest that you have, and if it matches with interest that the professors have on their websites. And once you have that, a lot of students tend to email the professors. I suggest go in person, and professors are very friendly. Go in person and talk to them. Tell them your interest and see if they can match you with a project that's going on in the lab.
Awesome. On average, how many hours per week should students expect to allocate to volunteering in a research lab?
Should and do is two different answers. So first one, some students stay longer hours. Some students I've seen, you're talking about undergraduate students.
Yes.
So some students stay long hours per week, but on average 6 to 9 is, I feel like, is a good time to be here in lab a week to get something significant out of your research while you're not slacking with your schoolwork or other business that you might have outside of the lab. So we have undergraduate students that spend from 6 to 9 weeks. Like I said, this is an average. Some people do less, some do more. But 6 to 8 hours, you will be able to produce something. You'll be able to learn something in the lab. You're able to build your research techniques that way by spending enough amount of time without taking yourself away from other things that you're supposed to do.
Right.
So that you can continue doing research.
So what are the types of research complications that your department has faced, and how did you overcome it?
well, I wouldn't speak for the whole department, but for this lab, for example, for McClaskey lab, uh, problems range from little mechanical problems to science problems to a lot of other problems. So one of the problems we recently faced is one of our microscopes. We didn't recognize each other wasn't talking with our computer. So this is the one we take image and then we look at in the computer, and we kind of study the morphology, look at things like that of the cells that we're working with. And it didn't work. And one of the students in our lab, what they did was, instead of using the computer, they started another virtual computer in the computer, and somehow that was able to connect each other. So that's the technical part that I'm talking about. When it comes to research, when you do your experiments, usually it's not all the time, oh, you're gonna do A, you're gonna do B, you're gonna do C, and you expect D. That's an ideal world, is a great thing to do. But sometimes you do A, you do B, you do C, and you don't get D, and you don't even know what you got. So sometimes you have to go back and so we try to be creative with our solutions. But I can give you a lot of examples, but in generally speaking, research is critically thinking, but has some amount of trial and error also going at it. So critical trial and error, or educated trial and error. I don't know how you want to say it.
Right.
So
it's fine. So through the experience of working with UC Merced students,
Mm-hmm.
what has been the most memorable moment in your study?
most memorable. Who I'm a people's person, so for me, each and every moment that I spend here with students is memorable. Either as a TA or just helping undergrad student, mentoring them while they're going through their grad student application process, or they're stressed because of their class and they need to talk, and we go to lunches, and of course, this is and then in research also, when you work with the student and they get it, aha moment, those things are really nice. But outside of research, for me, I participate in IM sports on campus, and in championship soccer. We probably the last 5 seasons we've been our team, mostly graduate student team, we've been winning the championships, and things that are like the memorable moments outside of school, and we also participate in a lot of outside curricular activities where we with organizations like National Society of Black Engineers or African Student Union or different things like that where I get to interact with the student community, and also other activities that I get to interact with the community. So my stay in the lab is not just the lab and the research, but also my stay in Merced in the community, and how I can be integral part of the community in large, in Merced community, and then the community at UC Merced, and then we have another community here in the lab that so I enjoy every moment, and I can't tell you one moment that just stands out.
So talking about all the stuff that you've done with UC Merced and the students and the community, what keeps you going? What keeps you stay focused onto the research and all the other clubs that you've been committed in? How do you keep going with that?
Research wise, I'm very fascinated with what cells can do research wise. Our lab is actually a part of a program called EBIX that collaborates with MIT, Georgia Tech, Urbana-Champaign, Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, City College, New York, Morehouse, a lot of schools. And the idea is to create a living multicellular machine that can solve real world problems. And just being part of something like that is, for me, research wise, and I will not even start to talk about cells, because I'm so fascinated in that machinery, how it works, and the things that they do. So I'm not even going to go there. And when it comes to the making a difference in the community, that really gets me going. Just seeing making changes in people's life, and having seeing people be happy, and of course also there's some recognitions that I don't expect. But I've been fortunate enough to get some recognitions from the city, from the state assembly and things like that, or from the students here on campus. Right. So those are like icing on the cake, and they're not requirements. but they're also nice to get those things. But the main thing is just seeing how other people happy. I don't know if you can tell by now, I'm a happy person. I like to be happy, and I like to make people happy.
Right.
So that's life-wise, that's what keeps me going. And research-wise, like I said, I'm very fascinated, and I want to be a faculty member one day, working on a cutting-edge research and working with the students and teaching at the same time. So that future keeps me going today.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, T.
No problem. It's my pleasure. And anytime you guys want to come and chat,
Thank you.
All right.
Thank